Hey guys, welcome back to Tell It To Trevor. I'm your host, Trevor Shelley, and today we sit with.
None other than the main character of professional wrestling, Rhome Senju.
Okay. Do you remember the first bump you took in the ring?
Um, yeah. So the first bump I ever took in the ring was just a little simple tryout, little back bump, nothing crazy. But it definitely told me that hey, wrestling is a completely different beast.
Yeah. Who trained you, and what was that day like for you?
My trainer is from Spartan Pro Wrestling in Gadsden, Alabama. His name is Joshua O'Hagan. He has been all around the world. He has done work for just about everyone. And that first day, I had already had some prior training, and I got there, and pretty much he showed me that the training I had was not on his level.
Did you ever think, what did I sign up for?
Honestly, no, not once. I never had that thought because I've always been a fan of professional wrestling. I've always loved it. So the minute I got the opportunity to get in the ring and bust my butt, I took it and just
Yeah.
kept running with it.
What is the craziest thing that happened in the locker room so far in your career?
Oh, craziest thing. To be honest with you, I don't really have any crazy things because I tend to stay out of the drama filled locker rooms. So
Yeah.
I haven't really had any crazy experiences yet. They're out there. I know they are. I just haven't
Yeah.
gotten one.
Who is the biggest prankster in wrestling that you have dealt with so far?
Oh, okay. So I would probably say so far would be me at my home promotion, but outside of my home promotion, I haven't really got to meet a lot of pranksters yet. I'm I pretty much am that guy who's ready to pull out a good prank.
What's a match that went completely off rails for you?
Mas- so it didn't go off rails, but we did have to adjust it. It was me versus a wrestler named Thundercat. Great dude. And everything was fine until he landed wrong and messed up his shoulder pretty bad. So we had to really adjust around it, and we had to really change some of the ideas we had. But other than that, like it didn't go horribly off the rails.
What moment in your career felt like the main event?
Oh, okay. So, God, there's been so many so far, but I would say the two that I've had two. I'll have to put it as two. One would be when I worked Mickey Knuckles for my hardcore title in the
Okay.
singles match. That was a definite main event because not just the fans, but even like the guys and girls in the locker room, all their eyes were ready to see that match. So that was one. And then the next one would be when I won the Spartan heavyweight title in a fatal four way again. It was me, my trainer Joshua O'Hagan, Daryl Shaw, and Lane Bloody, known to some as Insane Lane. So that was another match where everybody's eyes were on that moment, and it let me know like, okay, I'm in a big main event for this one.
What is the longest road trip you have done for a match?
Okay, longest road trip. Uh, Probably would be a it's probably would be a promotion called Middleton Independent Wrestling in Middleton, Tennessee. At the time being where I lived at before, that was about a 3.5 hour drive. So that would probably be the longest one.
Okay. Craziest thing that happened traveling to a show.
Okay. So same promotion, Middleton Independent Wrestling. I was heading that way by myself, of course, and first a big thunderstorm comes up, rain everywhere, so I had to pull over. Then my check engine light comes on at 30 minutes from after I had to pull over. So I had to pull into a gas station to figure out what was going on. It overheated. So I'm like, okay, cool. Get everything, head off. 45 minutes later after that, I get a flat tire. So I end up, thankfully, I don't buy donuts. I actually always have a legit spare tire so I can put on and go. So I put the tire on and finally get there. And I still got there before call time. So,
Okay.
but yeah, like everything that could go wrong to stop me from getting there was trying to go wrong.
Yeah. Worst ring you have ever wrestled in.
Oh God. Oh no, I already know on top of my head. So I won't say the promotion because I legitimately can't remember it, and two, I'm just not. But it was a promotion, and the ring was just held up by hopes and dreams. That is the best way I can put it. Like the ropes were very loose, the canvas was slippery, and like instead of ring posts to hold the turnbuckles in place, it was wooden beam. It was like wooden long 2x4s or whatever, and they were stuck into buckets with cement. So that was definitely probably the worst one.
Okay. Let's see. Who inspired your wrestling style?
Okay, so I would definitely say that it was. I'm a big mixture between the three of Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and William Regal. Would be my biggest inspirations to how I wrestle.
Okay. If you could wrestle anyone in history, who would it be?
You know what? I will give you. I got two good answers for you. One person I would want to wrestle would be. I'll tell you exactly when. I want when he was in TNA, Kurt Angle. I want that specific Kurt Angle because he was just on a whole nother level and just firing on different cylinders. But my next answer would be Owen Hart.
Okay. Who on the indies right now would you love to face?
Well, I love the face.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, there's so many great guys on the indies right now. I'd love to I'd love to face Richard Holiday, um, Teriyaki. I recently just worked the Wall, Tyler Stevens, so that was one, but I got to work him. Um, God, just there's so many people, and honestly, I'm one of those people to where if it comes up, I'd love to work them. So I don't really have a set list, but just off the top of my head, those two people are people I definitely would want to work.
What promotion would you want that match in if you had a pick?
Uh, okay, so the generic answer I'm gonna give you would be anywhere it doesn't matter. I want to work them, and that is also a true answer. But if I could actually pick where I would want that match to happen, is I would love for it to happen at Ring of Honor because
Ring of Honor.
yeah, because that's a promotion that like I've loved since I was a child. So to be able to work somebody of a high level and get to do it in a Ring of Honor ring would be just amazing.
What mindset do you need to make it in wrestling?
Um, so first of all, you have to have that mindset of, to be completely honest with you, you have to either A, be ready to sacrifice and bust your butt every single day to be better than you were before, or you have to have the mindset of, you know what, if this is the only promotion I work at and this is the level I stay at, then I'm content with that. So you either have to be ready to shoot for the moon as hard as you can and every day bust your butt, or be ready to be complacent, because there's no, wrestling doesn't have room for quitters. There's no room for quitting. There's no room for not being able to handle the stress, because if you can't handle the stress of competition, the stress of traveling, being away from family, friends, missing out on things, then that's definitely something that you need to consider before you get into professional wrestling. You have to have that mindset of, I'm willing to sacrifice what it takes.
Yeah. What keeps you motivated during tough times?
What keeps me motivated would be, first of all, my daughter, because I want her to see that as long as you try your hardest, that you can make it and that you can always get better. And I also get motivated by, this is me personally, I always make it a habit to watch an older match, and not like a month or so, but a match from where I was last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I always watch a match from a long time ago so I can see exactly where I've come from and how much I've progressed. And that constantly motivates me to always get better.
What separates good wrestlers from great ones?
Um, well, going back to what I said before, that mindset.
Yeah.
Um, Anybody can be a good wrestler with proper training and, just being, physical and going to just doing a little bit of working out and staying physically active. Anybody can be a good wrestler. But to be that great wrestler, to be that guy in the locker room that everybody else is looking up to, you have to put in those hours when nobody's watching. It's easy for you to do your push ups and, do your research and your homework when your coach is watching or when somebody's watching. It really takes a different level of dedication to be like, okay, it's a Tuesday, I'm bored, I have nothing to do, and instead of hopping on my game or instead of binge watching this show, I'm gonna go to the gym for 2 hours. Or instead of getting, this large pizza with all these toppings, I'm gonna go for a small pizza, or I'm gonna go for a sub. Like, it's those small details and those little small choices that really take anybody from being a good wrestler to that really great wrestler.
Yeah. All right. So we have a segment called "You Finish the promo."
Okay.
So I'm gonna say a sentence, and then you finish it however you want to.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, let's do it.
At the next show, the crowd better be ready because
The one, the only, the true main character of professional wrestling, Rhome Senju, shall be in action, and I will show everybody why my opponent is nothing more than a side character in my story.
okay. How do you tell a story during a match?
Oh, okay. That, I like that one. So most people have the misconception that the story is the move. They think that the story is the Canadian destroyer, or the story is the drop kick, or is the power bomb, and it's not. The story is the struggle and the fight that it took for you to get to that move. It's the same with a headlock. Anybody can get into a headlock and get pushed off. We've all seen it, but the story is you have a big like you're a bigger dude than me. I'm going to punch you in the gut because you're holding on to my neck, and I'm like, okay, this is hard to get out. There's the little story. Or again, you've tried to hit this power bomb 2, 3 times and you can't get it, and then finally something happens and you hit that power bomb. The story is in what led up to you be able to get to that move. It's not just the move. Anybody can. One thing that I always say is I can find somebody off the street to do a moonsault. That's nothing. Why
Yeah.
did you do the moonsault? That's where the story comes in. What was your purpose for doing that specific moonsault at that time?
What's what? Can I get my mouse to think? What is something fans don't notice about ring psychology?
Um, Honestly, a lot. There is a lot they don't notice, and to be honest with you, I am the type of wrestler that I love that. I love there's a lot they don't notice because, again, the internet and so many people out there are always trying to do exposés and, tell the behind the scenes stuff and be like, oh, well, look at this little thing. And everybody always thinks they know something. So my goal is to always go out into a match and do something to where people, once again, don't know what's going on, because that's what the real fans that to me is what wrestling is supposed to be. They don't have to know everything, and they shouldn't know everything, because at that point, if you know what's going to happen and you know exactly how it's supposed to happen, why would you sit and watch it in the first place?
Right. What's, who taught you the most about storytelling in wrestling?
uh so God, there's so many people that I can give credit to this for. um and I'm gonna feel bad because I know I'm gonna leave some people out, but definitely my trainer Joshua Hagan. um Lane Bloody is another person. Mickey Knuckles has also taught me a lot. um God, I've had conversations with Richard Holiday. He's another one. um like I said, so many people I've come across in my professional wrestling journey have given me so much insight on storytelling. And even when you go back and watch certain matches, for me, a match that I watch back for storytelling is Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat. Because when you really sit down, every time I sit down and watch that match, I find something new, or I find a new little detail that I didn't see beforehand.
What indie promotion should
Sorry, what indie promotion should what?
fans check out?
Okay. Um, so if you are in the Alabama area, I would definitely say some promotions to check out would be Spartan Pro Wrestling in Gadsden, Alabama, in the Gadsden Mall, and Rocket City Championship Wrestling. And it's in the Huntsville area, Hazel Green, Alabama. And it is run by another mentor and friend of mine, Barry Koloff, who is another phenomenal talent and man who's been around the world and done a lot of great things in professional wrestling. Those are two places, definitely off the top of my head, I would tell anybody in Alabama to look up.
Who is the most underrated wrestler right
Uh, First of all, me, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I feel like the main character should be getting some more props, but most underrated. God. Okay, so I'd say a friend of mine, uh, by the name of Rico Bravo. He is a talent that has been doing a lot in Alabama and in Georgia. Phenomenal guy, great athletic build, great athleticism in the ring. Like he's definitely one. Um, I mean, honestly, I've been in the ring with so many people. Like it's kind of hard to like think of a lot, but there's a lot of guys right now who, if they get that right camera on them, if they just get that right opportunity, they would go to the moon. Because like right now in professional wrestling, in my opinion, on the indies, on the independents, there's a lot of raw talent.
who is going to be the next breakout star?
Ooh, again that's a good one. I mean, the next breakout star. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, honestly, with the wave I've been, honestly, I want to say me for one, because with just some of the matches I've been having and the experience I've been getting, like I said, when I get that right moment and that right eye, I truly believe that Rhome Senju will become a household name. Um, but other than that, I would say, like I said, anybody who gets that right camera on them, anybody who gets that perfect moment of attention, because that's one thing I love about the independents. It's any man's game. At any point, it doesn't take much for that one person to see you and be like, "Hey, there's potential there."
What is your signature move?
So right now, I use Emerald Flosion, which to my old school Japan fans, they'll know. Um, and don't worry, no one's kicked out of it, and they never will. Uh, but I use Emerald Flosion. I also use a mousetrap pin, and I use a Northern Light suplex.
What is your theme song?
So my my theme song is actually a original one, and it's
Okay.
on my YouTube page. So it doesn't really have a name, but it's called the Tale of Rome Senju. So that you can definitely look up on my YouTube.
Bucket list opponent.
Okay, so I want to get this right. So you're gonna have to give me exactly how you mean for bucket list.
Who is your number one bucket opponent? Oh, it's
Okay. Number one bucket list opponent. Uh, you know what? I would say just because of, just, I would honestly say Samoa Joe. That would be my bucket list. Either Samoa Joe, or if I ever would have, if the stars ever align and I can get AJ Styles, that would be one too.
if you could have a dream feud with any wrestler, living or dead, who would you pick?
Ooh, dream feud, living or dead. Living, I feel like a feud with Gunther
Okay.
would be very good, because his hard hitting, his ferocity, his pure aggression is something I love and I use a lot in the ring. So I feel like we could. I feel like that would be a great one. Um, Other than that, I would say, oh man, I'm gonna figure out the answer once we're done. But for right now, I'll say Gunther.
Okay. Hidden passion outside of the.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that one that well.
Hidden passion outside of the ring.
You said hidden passion.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm, like out of the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, it shouldn't be much secret because I use the main character moniker. I am a big avid anime fan. So,
Oh,
and all of my gear is inspired in one way or another by anime. So, definitely, I would say it would be anime.
all right. Shoutouts to the sponsor of Apple City Championship Wrestling, located in Hickory, North Carolina. And then, if you guys, there we go. Sponsors, promo codes of
I wanted to
W
put that there.
Energy. Yeah. Save 15% with promo code Tell It To Trevor if you love protein powder. Save 15% with Rebel Ape. Same promo code Tell It To Trevor if you love energy drinks. Let's What's the most interesting place you have ever visited?
Most interesting footage. What again?
Place you have visited.
Okay. Place I visited. God, I haven't really got to visit any interesting places, but okay. So I did do. It was a show I went to in Rome, Georgia. Um, but the interesting part was I stopped at a Chick-fil-A, and it was probably the most gourmet looking Chick-fil-A I've ever been into. Like they had like dining tables and a salad bar set up and a bunch of other stuff. So like I haven't really gone to any like super interesting areas, but I do remember being at that Chick-fil-A. I remember that.
Alright, North Carolina, like, step it up. Especially in the Charlotte area. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
mm. Any historical figure. Okay. I guess I would probably sit. Honestly, I'd love to sit and talk to probably like either. I would say Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
Historic, but if not Muhammad Ali, I would say the first part I was gonna say was I would love to sit and have dinner with Malcolm X too.
What is your favorite book and why does it resonate with you?
Is it my favorite book?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay, so it is a. It would be the Percy Jackson series by Rick Rick Riordan. Um, like with the last Olympian, everybody like it's based off of Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Um, that would be probably my favorite because of the simple fact of like I love Greek mythology in general, and just the story of Percy Jackson as a character and constantly having to find new things about himself. He's constantly learning about himself. He's constantly evolving as a character, and he's put in these legitimately godly situations that have no way of him really winning and coming out on top, but he continues to find a way to get out of it.
That's, what is your go-to karaoke song?
God. Uh man. My go to would be, I'm gonna tell you the truth, it's definitely gonna be Purple Rain. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will hit some Purple Rain in a minute.
What is the best piece of advice you have ever received?
Uh okay, so it would probably be, and this is the most generic piece of advice, but it's the piece of advice I that works for me personally, is that, you know, if it was easy, everybody would be able to do it. And like I said, it's very generic, but at the same time, it reminds me that all those times where I'm pushing myself and constantly like driving and busting my butt, and even when I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, I still remember that, you know what, the fact that I'm taking the initiative to even do this and try it is better, and tells me more about myself as a person, because not everybody can do everything.
Yeah. All right. So we have a segment called Treb Boom. You have 2 minutes to answer these questions.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Coffee or tea?
T.
Early bird or night owl?
Definitely early bird.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
One thing you cannot live without.
Music.
What is your go-to
My go-to what?
comfort food?
Oh, Chinese food.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
What is your favorite way to relax after a long day?
My favorite way would be to get, like I said, a cup of tea, go into my room, dim my lights, and just listen to jazz music all day.
Sweet or savory?
Definitely sweet.
So you did not beat the record.
Ah,
It's I'll go Neil has the record.
all of course. Darn it, all go.
We're just gonna ignore that animal in the background. What is the weirdest childhood nickname you've had, and what is the story behind it?
Mm, uh, so it's not so much a weird one. But it's definitely one. The one I had as a child would probably be Rolo, because I had a friend who had a speech impediment, and saying Rome was just not his thing. He couldn't do it. So he would
Oh,
just say like Rolo because of the candy. So that would probably be the one that I was just like, you know what? I'm not mad at it. At least you got the first letter, so we can go with that.
yeah. What advice would you give someone that wants to be a wrestler?
Uh, the advice I would give them especially based off of what I've been dealing with personally on the independents as a while, is that it's okay to start small. It Not everybody just gets into a ring and can automatically do a 450. Not everybody gets into the ring and automatically, becomes Super Cena. It's okay to, even in your first 2 years, it's okay to just be basic, be simple. You don't have to already, have a game plan. And honestly, it's best if you don't go in with a game plan. Just go in there, be a sponge, and just be ready to learn whatever you can.
Thank you, Roman, for being on the podcast.
Yes.
Where can they find you on social media?
So, on social media, I am under every single platform you can imagine. For Snap, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook are all under Rhome Senju. So you can literally find me anywhere you want to just by doing Rhome Senju. I kept it simple.
All right, and guys, we will see you guys next time.
Yep, yep.